What's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a video podcast where we go over what's been making waves in the VGC scene. Today I am joined by my co-host Adi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We've got the first warm week in a long time on the East Coast, and so it's been good to be out here. And we got two people coming in from San Juan, sunny San Juan, I hope, with some pretty good results. So excited for
Yeah,
the episode.
absolutely. Stellar, even for a Pokemon pun. But anyways, we have your San Juan champion, Chef or Ben here. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Happy to have you on. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions about how you managed to do it with hard TR. I don't know. You and Brian are like the two names that come to mind when hard TR is brought up. You and then you two, and then every casual VGC player that is just getting their feet wet with the game. Uh, you're their hero, of course. Um, and then off cam, we also have Rohan here, coming off of a top 4 finish. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate
excited to get to
the
talk to you
invite.
as well. Yeah, we are going to be diving into this one as well as some news about champions and the Japanese circuit that might give some hints as to what the rest of the season might look like for the rest of us. I don't know. It's still inferences, it's still predictions, but what else are we going to do but think about the future when we don't know exactly what the future is going to look like. So, because we still don't. Anyways, I think then before we get into it though, if you guys have any questions for us or for our guests, uh, feel free to mention them in the chat and we will get to them. And if you are watching this here now and you don't think you'll be around for the whole thing, or you prefer to watch it over on YouTube, it will be on Audie's YouTube channel tomorrow. Exclamation point YT in the chat, CK49 on YouTube. Anyways, I do see one quick question here, which says, "Did you guys forget to smart money somebody for San Juan last week?" You absolutely did. I did not know that this event was happening. As soon as I got knocked out of Seattle, I completely checked out of Regulation F because I don't have any more tournaments in it, and that's totally my fault for not remembering that we had this tournament. Honestly, if Antonio Roxon had not reminded me that Curitiba is this coming weekend, we probably would have forgotten that one too. I do apologize because we're kind of we're supposed to be a VGC news source, but we have been dropping the ball a little bit, so we'll try to be better.
Yep, I did not realize this was happening until they posted the stream. Victory Road posted the stream, but yeah, probably should have known. Probably should have put two and two together when people were asking me for help with prep. But yeah, I just did not remember it happened at all.
Right. So we'll start with some of the quick and easy stuff here at the top, and that is if you're watching this on YouTube, it's today. If you're watching on Twitch, tomorrow. Signups for LA are coming up. I think I also actually just saw a Arcanine tweet before I turned the stream on that there's also some re-signups coming up for other ones, maybe for Prague. Maybe that one was filled and more chances to get in there. Regardless, I mean, if you're watching or listening to this right now and you don't follow Arcanine for tournament signups news, I don't know what you're doing. So, anyways, especially for tournaments that you're thinking about going or trying to get into. LA is going to be tomorrow. Yes, let's see. You got me here. Prague and Seville. Are these both reopenings? Yeah, both reopenings. Okay.
Yes. So very limited spots.
Man, I honestly can't remember who exactly we talked to, but I swear we had a guest on recently who was trying to get into the Seville reopening or something like that. Yeah, here's hoping that people are able to make their way in there.
And I do think Prague might have more reopenings than you expect, because this was an event that people thought might be on Pokemon Champions and is probably not on Pokemon Champions anymore. So wouldn't be shocked if some people dropped out and there was some more space available. But so Seville, I think, is later in the year, right? Or is that the one that is the very last event of March? That one's coming up sooner.
And I don't actually remember. Yeah,
I don't remember the order of these two events, but yeah, Prague I know was one that people were thinking about going to and maybe not going to. And then on the other hand, Los Angeles now is theoretically the first event of Pokemon Champions, and so might fill up quickly because I think that's a very exciting event. I think a lot of people have been looking forward to that. We know we'll talk about this in a second, but we got some news about the first online tournament of Pokemon Champions happening before Los Angeles. So, yeah, this one might fill up pretty quickly, and I think a lot of people are really excited for this one. I was not gonna go at the start of the season, but now I think I am gonna go, knowing what we know now. So,
And
are
yeah,
either
so
of
for the
y'all going
guests,
to LA?
you guys going?
Yeah, I was in
Uh,
the same boat where this probably wasn't going to be one that I would go to, but seems like it might be the first Champions one, and that seems like a fun one to go to.
right.
Yeah, if I
What about you?
could make it work, I would like to, but I've also been doing a lot of events recently, so we'll see if I burn
Mhm.
out.
Oh, you won't be burnt out if it's Pokemon Champions. You know, that's like a brand new start. That cools everybody off. This it couldn't you can't possibly be burned out for a new game. Um, but yeah, I definitely will be going to this one. I was always going to this one just because this is kind of like the West Coast easy one for me to get to. So it was just a plan of my part of my season plan. But anyways, the I also was curious if anybody here canceled on Orlando because I did. I went and canceled my Orlando. But yeah. It might
No,
just be me. Go ahead.
I I love going to Orlando regionals. Great place to go to a regionals, but I wasn't gonna go this year anyway because it was over Easter.
Right.
So
I know. The timing is so annoying. Um, the flights were terribly expensive for me for that reason as well. So it wasn't even one that I was. There was a lot of reasons I wasn't excited to go to it. But if it was Champions, it was going to be reason enough. But
yeah,
I think a decent number of people did cancel for Orlando. I'm kind of curious what those numbers will end up looking like. Pre Pokemon Day and post Pokemon Day. I wish I had looked.
Yeah, I know Justin Tang also canceled, and so he posted on YouTube. So I wouldn't
Right.
be shocked if other people who were on the fence about going said, I'm going to register just in case. I can always get a refund. I think a lot of people like that. Yeah, probably. There's probably going to be a lot of open spots. Yeah, I wish someone had kept track. I know I'm still going to be going to Querétaro in Mexico the same weekend.
Oh yes,
So,
yes.
um, which I'm not canceling despite that because those flights were not refundable. So, gonna have a good time
Oh.
there anyways.
Yeah, that
I
was my
will.
Seattle flights.
Oh, okay. Oh, yep. I gotta say though, I am very grateful on the subject of refunds that the refund policy is so much better this season for tournaments because yeah, it just meant that I could hold my spot for Orlando and then decide once we had a bit more information. I wish they would just tell us stuff sooner though, so we could plan out our seasons better.
Hey, April 1st drop, April 7th Orlando.
People are
What is it,
still
April
talking
4th?
about
that
this.
I think that would be sick. I feel like people have been kind of on both extremes of that, of like how much of a disaster it would be if they didn't give a lot of warning, but that would kind of like be an insane tournament if you just show up with, especially if it's like super easy to like actually create a team in the game where that's not an issue, like to just have it drop and then a few days later have a tournament where there's no meta yet would would kind of be wild in like a good way
Yeah,
to
I
I'd say
watch,
agree.
maybe not to play in.
No, I mean I'm very interested in it. I think the early ones are the most fun, and like the more time that passes for things to develop, the less chaotic it is. You know, I think the chaos is fun, and so like for people to not have things figured out. That was like not to be the guy that's like, ha, look at me, I won Portland, but like Portland, the team that I won with is terrible. It's so bad in current regulation F. Like, I mean, they're actually Pound Knight's been doing good recently with, but like it's not quite like what my team looked like. But just the fact that you can like do well early on with just kind of like whatever you feel like using in regulation F, sorry, in any format it's when it's brand new. Like I love that. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, of course, the one that everybody talks. We've all been referencing the shortest game drop to tournament period because everyone keeps bringing it up because people are like, champions can drop 2 weeks before Orlando and it's still okay because that's what they did for London. London Internets, the first London Internets, I believe, 2016 calendar year, 2017 season, where it was just 2 weeks upon the release of Sun and Moon before people had to actually be ready to play in tournaments. And I remember it was a mad dash. I was not going to this one, but all my friends that were just like, I'll breed the Pelipers, you breed the Gigaliths. Like, we'll all help each other out. Like, it was so crazy, chaotic, awesome. I don't know. But we're bouncing around a little bit here. Let's actually jump over to the champion stuff because that is like the kind of news that we're avoiding talking about here, where specifically, let me see mainly this. So, Pokemon announced some stuff about JCS, Japan's circuit, and it is the classic, multi-stage. Choppa, what are you talking about, man? In the chat, I'm not reading that. Anyways, the Japan is the classic multi-stage tournament. I think it is heavily condensed this time around. Usually we see 4 or so global challenges for them to compete in, and then they move to a Japan only qualification period where it was like, I'm going to use the numbers that are most familiar in my head. The 1 year it was 3 periods, 150 made it. Maybe it was 120 last year, 4 periods.
It was the top 150 in the 3 global challenges made it to, and then the top 450 players qualified to the online segment, just like the JCS qualifiers here. It's going to be 640, and then the same top 120. I think it was top 64, wasn't it? Because they only got 64 invites, and everyone who got an invite made it, except for the 1 year where they messed up. So this is actually an expansion of the number of players who will be making it to the live stage, I believe.
Well, they did let 128 go to that 1 year that they had like the issues. However, only the top half got invites, and I don't know. I'd have to poke around a bit on the page here. Let me see if I can hit a translate to English here and see if it's very readable. But I'm kind of curious if it mentions Worlds qualifications somewhere on here. Like, when do you qualify for Worlds? Maybe I could type in World. World doesn't give me anything. WCS? Yeah. I maybe have to read the whole page to truly get the answer to that. If anybody knows, yeah, Choppa's asking the question here, and I don't think I have the answer. Jimmy says I couldn't find the invite number on the page. Thank you for letting me know, Jimmy. But yeah, the thing is 128 will be competing actually in the live one at Yokohama. And this is a condensed version of it, though. So instead of having multiple online global challenges feed into this top X Japan only tournament, they are having a 1 week gap between the one global challenge where they can qualify, then the one where they actually they try to proceed to the live stage online, and then they tried playing online to proceed to the live stage, and then that. So notably, though, it's those dates that everybody are looking at, because this means that Japan is getting ready to play by the beginning of May. And in fact, I think earlier than that, let me see if one of these mentions it. Maybe on the Victory Road page it mentions it. One of these mentions the sign-up period, I swear, and that is in April. Like, it starts in April. Maybe I mean, we could look at this calendar here. So I think that this green section here is when you can sign up for it, because usually there's a 1 week lead up to when you can sign up for these tournaments, and that's just kind of par for the course. And entry period is the end of April. Oh, well then what's on the calendar here? I can't translate the image.
I know. I thought it was you could enter until the end of the competition.
April 24th.
April 24th is the start of the entry period.
Yes, and then okay, so yeah, the start of the entry period, but the entry period goes to the end of the competition now. That was one thing that one of these links I grabbed was talking about. So maybe it wasn't this one. But regardless, yeah, you can enter while the competition started again, which actually is how the old online tournaments were used to work. Ben, do you remember those? Do you remember? Were you playing back then? Right, I feel like you were.
Was this Gen 7
Um,
or was it
man,
before that? I kind of started at the beginning of Gen 7.
yeah,
I
I
feel
feel
like
like then
also you can sign
yes.
up late in Gen 8 as well. But yeah, Gen 7 and Gen 8, you definitely. I feel like you'd sign up in the middle of competition.
Yeah, it was kind of nice. Or at the very least, you could. Yeah, I think you could sign up in the middle of the competition. Gen 8 was still late signups.
And
Yeah.
nowadays, every single GC, at least one of my friends says, "Oh, I totally forgot that was happening. It didn't have a
I
team ready."
know,
Something like
dude.
that.
It's at this point later in Scarlet and Violet, I swear it's like at least multiple people like multiple friends of mine every single time that
Yep.
it's like, oh, I didn't know it. And like daylight savings actually just happened. They're like, oh, I didn't realize it was at 5 instead of 4. Yeah. Like I'm like, just sign up on Wednesday, please. Just sign up on Wednesday. The deadline is Wednesday night before you go to bed. The deadline is Wednesday night before you go to bed, please.
Yep. Um, yeah, and all that really means is we know they don't watch tub takes, because if you watch tub takes, you would know the GC is happening. Uh,
Oh.
and speaking of GCs happening, there's one other thing that we kind of know from this piece of news, which is that, like you said, there's only one big global challenge for all of Japan, uh,
Yes.
and that means that we are still scheduled to have 8 total GCs for our Worlds qualifiers, right? There's no indication that's changed. We still have a BFL of 4 for those events, and we just saw GC5 happened, and so now we presumably are going to have a GC6 and GC7, Grand Challenge 6 and Grand Challenge 7, in March and April as well, that are probably still going to be on Scarlet and Violet. It'd be weird if the first online event of Champions was actually the first Grand Challenge. But yeah, I suspect that we will have 2 more normal Grand Challenges on Scarlet and Violet over the next couple months, presumably still in Regulation F.
Hmm. I could, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I didn't even think about it that much, but that sounds accurate. That sounds like, I mean, we probably still want to hit the quota there, unless they feel like doing things differently on Champions once we hit Champions, and they like, are willing to do multiple May GCs. Because I don't know. I mean, I'm being honest. Like, would it be a little bit close together to have 2 in May? Yes. But like, it's an online competition you can do from the comfort of your own home. Like, people would be able to do it. And this is also not me. I mean, this is me totally coping as well, that I would much rather be playing more Champions tournaments than Scarlet and Violet tournaments at this point, of course. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, they could do one early May and then one late May, like pretty reasonably, if they wanted to. And hey, and then you take the March one, you put it at the end of April, and you release Champions in early April, and then you have all 3 Grand Challenges on Champions.
So Adi, with that actually, what do you think the date is looking like with all this new information?
For what? For
The
the
game,
release of
Champions.
Champions? I still think it's going to be. I think that it'd be weird if they started signups right after Champions released. I wouldn't be. If you told me they were doing Champion, like signup started on release date, I wouldn't be shocked, but it'd be a little weird. I think it probably releases about a week before that. I
That's
think
where
it's
I'm
gonna
at.
be mid-April, right? I think sometime mid-April probably is when it's starting.
Yeah, what is that? I mean, I'm having trouble doing 24 minus 1 in my head, or minus 7 in my head. But yeah, that's 17.
17.
Yeah, I feel like I'm seeing 1 week before the start period here. I don't know. I'm not very like in the know about days of the week that are chill. I think a lot of companies do it differently. Like some companies do it, towards the end of the week. Some companies like to release earlier in the week so that, their employees are in office to handle the launch. So I don't really know where Pokemon stands on that one. I mean, what was it? Pokopia released like Wednesday late night for us, like, Thursday midnight time, I think. So I don't know. For sure.
Apparently, most
Yeah.
Pokemon games are released on Fridays. If so,
Okay.
maybe the 16th or the 18th rather.
Sorry, Ben. What'd you say?
Is all we've gotten like officially is April. That's it.
Yes,
That's
that's
what
the
they
fun
put.
part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw someone tweeted something about late July, and that made me laugh. It's got me feeling like late July.
Oh, absolutely. That's when the mobile version comes out. Is late July. I think somebody else pointed it out in Tub. I think maybe it was Jimmy who mentioned that in the Japanese presents they said something more specific about when I think the phone version they said later is coming later this year in the English version, but in the Japanese version they said summer. So I think that mobile should be coming in the summer. But anyways, this I mean with the
It would
delay it does
be
give them
very
more.
silly if it didn't come out before Worlds, right? Like mobile has to come out before Worlds because you have to have people watch the World Championships and want to download Pokemon Champions. It would make no sense if they didn't.
That's true. I mean that's
So
true.
yeah, summer makes sense.
ZA came out on a Thursday. Yeah, they've been doing them Thursdays lately, so who knows? Maybe it could be a Thursday.
Friday. What if I said Friday in Japan? Would that make sense?
Well, 24.
Got 'em.
This calendar's tripping me up as well because I think it's not.
That would be a week before then, like you said. You said maybe 1 week before, and that would be the Thursday.
Okay, this is why the calendar is breaking my brain here. Is because that's Monday, huh? This is the Monday column.
I think so.
That,
I think
okay.
they do it different in Japan.
That makes sense. The cope here is so strong, Drag, that you have to understand all this podcast is cope. All it is cope. We just want champions to be here.
I think it's pretty ridiculous to try to speculate too much. I don't think we're ever going to be able to guess the date. We don't have any information that really dictates. Because it could come out like April 7th, right? For all we know, and there's no indication it's not going to come out. It would be a little sad if I was at a regional playing Scarlet and Violet and Champions came out. But like they could do it. They could just release it on April 4th and we're all like, damn, we got to play Scarlet and Violet at Orlando after Pokemon Champions came out. Well, I don't know. Anything could happen.
When is Lorcy going to announce the format? That's true. We didn't mention that on Tub Takes, even though it's like almost news, but it's kind of cool that Lorcy was he's the community ambassador now. But now we get to yell at Lorcy for all like announcements and stuff. Like Lorcy, when's the format coming out, man? Come on, tell us. What are we playing in Orlando, Lorcy? Tell us. Which, by the way, this is a fun little bit of news that I got told to me through an anonymous source. But anyways, it's like probably public news that you could find. Is that I think the reason we don't have a format announced for Orlando is because the person who decides like the formats, like the VGC head, like it's just not a position that's filled at Pokemon right now. Like they are like there's nobody that like that person is not. Let me read the message again.
But surely that person is also doing this job for Pokemon Champions, right? Like they have someone to decide the.
Here, the VG esports manager position has been vacant since sometime in February, probably towards the end, and that's who decides the format. So,
Gosh, I'm gonna apply.
Yeah, right. I know. Get in there, everybody. Get in there. Yeah, that's just kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean that I don't know. Like, I don't know how they like do it without somebody doing that, but also at the same time, like I think at this point we can say pretty confidently that it's probably just F until we're done. I'm at the point where I think it's F until we're done because I don't think that they are going to change it for some partial period. We don't know what day Champions is releasing in. We also don't know what day we'll be switching to Champions either after it releases. But regardless, that is like it's just a weird, too short of a period for us to be playing a new rule set when we could just ride out F. I think they're just going to ride out F.
It is also what they said in their post at the start.
That is what they said. It is what they said. Sorry, Ben, what were you saying?
No, just that I think you're right. I think the longer it goes without them saying anything, the more likely it becomes that it's going to just be Reg F, and it's been a while now.
Mm-hmm.
1 month of like no Terra format or something could be fun.
Oh my God, what are you
Way more
talking
fun.
about? They're not doing that.
If they were cool, that's what they would do, though. Like,
It
that
is.
would
It
be
is
great to make a crazy format just for a few weeks. Just like, why not? That would be awesome. But
Just go out crazy. That would be fun.
I mean, but like Orlando would be like the craziest tournament ever, right? If it was just this wild and wacky format that no one was expecting that we got announced 3 weeks before the tournament.
So true. I mean, I'm here for it. Let's see what other. Ooh, this is actually another big piece of the news from stuff that we related to Champions is that it's apparently Home is going to be compatible or linked to the game on launch, and so I guess that means that you can bring in Pokemon immediately. I'm still skeptical that you can just take the 6 Pokemon, or more than that, I guess, like 6 Pokemon you want to use on your first Champions team, breed them in Scarlet and Violet, send them over. I know that you'll need the currency in the game to actually, kit them out with EVs and moves and stuff like that, but I feel like there's probably going to be like some kind of limit. Like, I don't think they'll just let you like port over every Pokemon you have on day 1. I feel like. But we'll see.
I think they will. I
You
think
think
they
they
will let
will?
you port over all your Pokemon. And I think that you are going to have to re-EV all of your Pokemon.
Of
I
course.
think they're probably going to forget all of their moves like they normally do when they go through Pokemon Home. And so
Right.
essentially you're going to have to use, despite the weird wording of the page on Champions that we talked about either last week or 2 weeks ago, I think you're going to forget all their moves. And I think you're going to say, well, if you are kind enough to support the franchise and buy the $80 Pokemon games and all the DLCs or whatever, or you play Pokemon Go religiously or whatever, and you have all the Pokemon, you don't have to pay for that part of Pokemon Champions that otherwise might be a little costly, like depending on how that system is. You still have to pay resources to actually train those Pokemon, and so that's you're still like using currency on a pretty regular basis. And so I think they're going to like, I think that part of the draw of Pokemon Champions is being able to transfer your Pokemon from Pokemon Home as well. A lot of people like using to show off their Pokemon, and I think they want to be able to do that. Now, if they maybe start out by saying, "Hey, you have a limit to the number of Pokemon you could transfer over," I get where you're coming from, but there's also a 30 Pokemon limit to the number of Pokemon you can put in Pokemon Champions. So it's not like you were ever going to transfer that many Pokemon over at once, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, with the box sizes and stuff.
And yeah, like if you were the type of person to transfer a bunch of Pokemon from Pokemon Home to Champions, you'll just spend money to get the extra boxes anyway. So you're already spending money on the game. It's what they want. Doesn't matter where.
Mm-hmm. Did we mention the that you can cancel your registration and change your team and also change your name as well? These are some
No.
other exciting parts about this. So you're able to like honestly that was one part of the late sign up that was kind of nice is that you could like to get a little more time to decide your team, but also this lets you submit your team and also I mean maybe not even changing your team, maybe you just make a mistake, you load up Toxic Chain Okidogi into a GC when you meant to have Guard Dog, and then you're just stuck with it for the even like if you do it on Monday and you're like, oh no, I'm so stupid, I made this mistake. They were just like, yeah, you should have triple checked it before you submitted, even though there's 4 days for you to fix that. Now it lets you cancel and get back in there. So that's super nice. I don't know why it says you can
Of
make
course.
changes to your team up until tournament start time. I guess maybe once you register.
No, because you could theoretically register after the tournament starts, but you can't drop after the tournament starts and then re-register with a new team
That makes sense. That makes
if
sense.
you haven't played any games, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So at that point, there's no reason to lock in your team until you're gonna play, right?
That's how I felt about it. That's how I always felt about it in Gen 8.
Right. 100%. Let's see. Will you have a transfer limit like in Go? That's my theory. That's what I'm thinking about. Think it costs VP to import from home? Like, yeah, like some. That's what I feel like there's gonna be some stuff like that. Like, that's what I'm worried about. That when it says send a visit or whatever, we'll see. We'll see.
That's the thing, is they really could be. We'll see how aggressive their monetization is. I like to believe that they are going to. Again, the way that I would do it if I were in charge of Pokemon is say the mobile only players, they're going to be the whales. They're going to spend a lot of money playing because they don't actually own the main series games. And if they want to not spend all this money, they can also just buy the games and give us money in a different way. And the people who've already bought the games spent, $500 on a Nintendo Switch and what is it, $70 in a game plus $30 DLCs. If you buy all the games anyways, you should be able to get your Pokemon Champions for free and then use those Pokemon Champions. I really think that's the way it's going to go. Which is something that Ben and I were talking about before we started recording. Because Ben, you said you don't really play the main series games, and so you were debating whether or not you would get the new games, the Winds and Waves.
Yeah, I never played through Scarlet and Violet, and actually, well, now I played through it a little bit because on my flight to whatever the first, like, what was it, Reg G event, I was like, oh my god, I have to get the Reigns of Unity, and that requires like doing a whole bunch of
Yeah.
things. I've literally only gotten to the point where you have the Terra, and so
Right.
I've played a little bit of it now, but I used to always play through the games. So I don't know if it depends if it's good or not. Now I can decide if it's good or not if I want to do it.
That's fun. That's fun. Yeah,
But would you be
there's
more
a lot
likely to
look
get
at.
it? Would you be more likely to get it if it made it way easier to get Pokemon and Pokemon Champions?
Yeah, then I probably would.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. They don't need to get people who buy the games to spend money in Pokemon Champions. Pokemon Champions will get you to buy the games. That's how they're making money.
I like that. I like that.
The let's see, I saw people talking about like an event Venusaur, giving a free Venusaur for playing 3 games. Is that what's confirmed for the first GC? Honestly, that might be true. But you can also get a Dragonite. This was funny as I saw people confirming like this means that mobile releases before August 31st, 2026. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I guess that is probably true. But honestly, I don't really know what else you can get from this one. And I mean, hopefully getting a Dragonite is just a trivial thing. The one thing that's like kind of important about this is just noting that the Mega Stones, we'll have to see how that works in the game because you probably can't trade items into the game. You probably have to acquire the items. And so if there's like certain items, I think we saw that like Embor's Megastone was in the Battle Pass. So is that the only way to obtain Embor's Megastone? Or can you wait out the season and just be like, well, sadly I can't play with Mega Embor until this season finishes and then earn it for free some other way? Or do you literally have to cough up for, I mean, there might also be ways to get the battle pass for free via in-game currency. There's a lot of different ways that people monetize or that companies monetize games these days, but
Also, it says in the Dragonite Stone will be available in this campaign, maybe unlocked other areas of the game at a later date. It says, and
I didn't
think
read that. I didn't read the whole
case.
page, man. Okay, so I was theorying. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but I feel like it has to. That have to be the case, right? That you can't let someone, again, in the case of Embor, you know that Emborite is going to be in the game later on, even if you don't play through this battle pass. Maybe or only initially it's only available through battle pass, but if you get the game on mobile, maybe say in July, and Emborite is just impossible to get, that would kind of suck, right? So they're gonna make these things accessible over time if you download the game a little later. But you might have to spend money on them. And so, or you might have to really, really grind to get them. And so it's probably is worth, I can't imagine anyone watching this podcast was not going to download Pokemon Champions and get their Dragonite. But in case you were on the fence about it, it's probably worth getting it before August 31st.
Let's see. I'm gonna click through here to make sure I didn't miss anything for the Pokemon Champions stuff. So yeah, I mean the Japan stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
The format being called Regulation MA.
Right.
I found that interesting. I haven't been
Yeah.
up to date on the discourse around that, but
So Ben, I'll tell you one thing is that like kind of like a while back in some champions related news website post, um it yeah, it does say we'll get more info later. But it basically just said that like the first format will have megas. They said that, like they kind of confirmed that like the first format will be megas. Now, the trailer for the game showed megas and Terra in the same battle. And yeah, we don't know if it's going to be just megas or megas plus something else or something else's, like multiple something else's. I mean, God, I don't even want to think of the idea of combining three mechanics, but we might get there one day. But anyways, um, yeah, we're definitely playing with megas for the first one, and it seems like maybe
Yeah, so
that's
that's the
the
M. The M is the mega.
yes, and then the
But
A
yeah,
is
that
just the
feels
start.
yeah, that feels like that's only one letter. Like, are the is like if there is a format, like please bring back Z moves, please, please, please. But like if there's a format that's like megas and Z moves, will be like MZ
Oh,
like how crazy are these formats going to
no,
become?
actually, you've got a good point. Maybe this first format will be just megas then. I mean, like that was what it sounded like it was going to be, and that was my take on it. But you're definitely opening my mind to the like, yeah, you're making me realize that if there was multiple mechanics, the name would probably refer to it. The M is very clearly mega. So no, I think you're 100% right there.
I think you got it right too. I think it's going to be MZA at some point when we get um, a format that has megas and Z moves, for example, or MTA. It's just a really easy way for them to explain exactly which format they're referring to without having to actually write it all out. Whereas right now, if you say, "Yeah, I was playing," Series C, Regulation C, people might not know off the top of the head what Pokemon and what are legal in that format. Whereas this one makes it
That's so
very
true.
clear.
That's so true because I don't, I haven't, I never remember anything about like Regulation C. That was so long ago that I've completely forgotten it.
Right? You
So
just wipe them. You just wipe it from your brain.
Hmm.
that's good. Yeah. So can't wait for Regulation MZTD.
Right? I was about to ask,
It's
what's
gonna
the
be sick.
most offensive way to arrange those four letters? DMZT? A? Um, yeah. Yeah, there's so many ways you can. Oh, man. The, yeah.
DMZDQ.
The, well, no, it's not going to be Q. We're going to start with A. We're never going to make it to Q. uh,
Well, we
anyways.
don't. What the icon that we saw in the trailer for Winds and Waves kind of looks like a Q. It might be a Q.
Oh, that's true. Maybe that will
Mhm.
be the new mechanic.
Oh.
Quantum evolution. I don't know.
There you go.
Regulation MDB. That's
Maxitotl
pretty
said Q
funny.
in the MDB. Yes.
Megas, Dynamax. The thing is, Dynamax has never gotten to play with any of the other mechanics, and I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about Dynamax with the other mechanics. It should be separated. Well, Dynamax and Gigantamax have different letters? I don't think so. I think that Gigantamax is just a variation of Dynamax. Like, it's not actually, like, the different. I don't know. Like, would we have to put, like, T and then TS because Stellar is allowed? Like, Stellar is just a variant of Terra. Like, they're just, they're all in the same umbrella. Let's see. So I think then that's probably it for the champion stuff. You can change your name, you can change your team and stuff. That's kind of fun. Let's go ahead and dive into some of the results of, well, I guess all the results of the San Juan special event. And right off the top, we have Ben winning the whole thing. Honestly, Ben, you're gonna have to tell me a bit about the experience of the event as well, because I didn't follow too much, but I was hearing a lot of different things. A lot of people were talking about like it being in like a Sears or like joking about it being in a Sears. I'm really confused, and I would love some clarification on that. So I guess tell us a bit about the tournament, and then we'll dive into your team and your run.
Yeah, so the thing about the Sears was 100% real. That's what it was. It was at a mall. It was at this huge mall, Plaza Las Americas. Huge mall, which I was it was so big I even looked it up, and it turns out it's the largest shopping center in the Caribbean. It's the second largest shopping center in Latin America. It's huge, and it was crowded. It was packed with people over the weekend. And yeah, there was like, the big stores at the edges of the mall, and this one had been a Sears, and nothing was in it, so they converted. It was a whole bunch of space. It was a whole bunch of
Okay.
space. It was close to the city, so it was actually like they did a great job with it.
Nice. That's so funny. I can't imagine what the experience was playing in this gigantic mall then. That's awesome. Because like just yeah, like you said, so many other random people there. Could they have just like walked into the tournament? I guess like it's probably still like you have to like have your badge and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, they had a badge and they had security guys and stuff like that.
Hmm. Makes sense, makes sense.
Wait,
Um
I'm looking it up. Apparently, the Sears store closed last year, so they literally just immediately were like, "Yep, that's the spot. We know what to do.
jumped
We know what to
on
do with
it.
the Sears."
We've been watching this Sears, waiting.
It's the perfect place to host a regional. We've known the entire time. Let's do it with other abandoned department stores in other cities.
Okay. I mean,
Free us some
malls are kind
space.
of
Yeah.
shutting down anyways, right? So, uh,
And I mean,
anyways,
the space, it was not a problem. Like there was space for way more people to be there. Like they only used a small part of this thing. Like think about like, those department stores. They're huge. There was way more room. Just on the floor, like the level that we were on.
they did this tournament fill? I cannot remember. Like, did it hit the cap?
I
I
don't
doubt it.
think
I doubt
so.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
there's no way.
got it. So, anyways, let's dive into that team then. So, I think that this is it looks like it's an update of some stuff that y'all were already running, right? Like it seems like this is something you've been working on for a minute, and obviously it's awesome to see it finally pay off here with a big win. But this is the latest version of the team, and so I guess kind of walk me through some of the stuff that's like newer and important, or like some of the weirder techs that the team had to employ to win certain matchups.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're totally right. That this is something that me and Brian have been working on since like close to maybe like halfway through Reg 1.0 uh, with this trick room stuff. So it's been like it it's kind of crazy the length of time that this team has like been like in my mind, like the format being spread out over different years at this point. But yeah, I'd say that the key thing originally that we that kind of put it together was our friend Nate and Ryan had been messing around with stuff with Fergraph with Smeargle, and the decorate Smeargle that could turn
Right.
Fergraph into actually kind of a decent attacker, and having a trick room mode with that. And the kind of big thing that really started this whole team off was combining that with the size spam, and being like, let's actually put the Furrygraph on the size spam team. I mean, at this point in Reg F 1.0, like people don't remember, but Trick Room was dead. Like Trick Room was non-existent. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Hard Trick Room. Like I think it got top 8 at like the first regional that you won, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Was that the
I
was
think
that the
somebody. I
first
think
one?
somebody did. That was the
I think
first
it was
one.
top 8.
It might have gotten the top 8. I'm trying to remember.
It got a top 8. Yeah, like a normal type of hard trick room that you kind of expect.
Brandon Davis. Brandon
Yeah, there
Davis.
we go. And I mean, and that team is kind of like, I don't know what you'd call like a standard hard trick room team. You've got all the pieces there: the Glade, the Indeedee hat, Choice Scarf Ursh. That's all the stuff you'd expect, right? And I feel like after that, though, in the Reg F, hard trick room was dead. There was nothing because the balance teams had figured it out. It couldn't break through with some of these balance teams, especially like the different Rillaboom teams and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
the big kind of things that we came up with to basically revive it was, yeah, the combination of Furigraph, so you have an additional thing to do into Rillaboom teams,
Right.
and then the Healing Wish on Indeedee, which I think is the thing I'm most proud of in all the stuff I've like done in Pokemon, was that the Healing Wish in Indeedee uh, was such a huge thing just to get, uh, and it feels so obvious now of like, you want to get Indeedee off the field, you want to get your fruit Torkoal in. Obviously, that's the whole. Every even anyone who's picked up Trick Room knows that that's what you want to do. But to actually put that move on Indeedee, I think was a big step. And then along those lines of actually getting through the teams and like the classic ways of beating hard Trick Room is taking that Urshifu, making it min speed, and giving it the choice band, and then eventually Terra Dark and stuff like that. So those were the big things originally, and then we kind of updated the stuff around it for this kind of round. We made Farig a little bit bulkier, made it be able to survive some attacks. We added the Iron Hands with the safety goggles, with the kind of rise of the P2 or Saluna Mungus teams, and that's a really key piece there. And then same thing with making a Hatterene Life Orb Terra Psychic to be able to actually be something that can one-shot Pokemon on that team. And I feel like that's...
All right, so I guess a couple of points that
parts.
I want to jump at here is, first off, I feel like you were being modest about the original Regaf run, because then it clicked in my head. I was like, wait a minute, you said that it did well in the beginning, then fell off. Didn't you get like top 4? It was here, yeah, or Orlando. So I don't know. I mean, are we just gonna gloss over your own top 4 finish at the last? was that the last? Well, it was the last one in NA, right? Yeah. So I think,
okay,
it left off at an okay spot, I guess, right?
Yeah, I meant before. So I should have. The full story, I guess, is up until EUIC, because that's when we more or less debuted the team, and Brian got top 16 at EUIC with the team.
Right.
And so it was up until this point with this team, which looks way different than the classic hard Trick Room team. A lot of the same guys, but the Smeargle Furgraph obviously a little bit different. But even the Urshifu being choice band and slow, the Indeedee having the Healing Wish, those were big changes. Hatterene had Psyshock at that point. Those were like changes that made a huge difference in actually making the hard Trick Room like viable in the format. So
right,
that was kind of what I meant when I said up until you had the first regional, it did well. Then the meta kind of coalesced around the top teams, which that kind of regular hard Trick Room team had a lot of trouble beating. And I'm really proud of the way that we were able to come up with some of these ideas. Me and Brian, with the help of a number of our friends, like coming up with some of these ideas to make it a relevant archetype again.
Because I think that the key part is definitely the Fari. That's what kind of broke it back into being strong. And I think a lot of like Trick Room teams thought that Indeedee and Fari together was redundant, right? Like that was kind of the original logic, was that you pick your priority stopping option, and you either have the one that you doesn't terrain control but is always stopping priority and fake outs, or you work with Indeedee and just accept the faults that it has. But the thing is that Indeedee's also very strong when it's good. Like it's probably preferred to Fari if, like, for example, Rillaboom didn't exist. If Rillaboom was never going to do anything and you didn't have to worry about terrain disruption, then the toolkit that Indeedee has usually a bit stronger. Fari definitely with a couple of different movesets can be impactful, but Fari definitely feels like the piece that came back onto the team, and that it's gone through several set changes as I'm seeing, because you had Helping Hand, Psyshock, Safety Goggles here, Then you moved on to Psychic Seed, and I think in the most recent one you put Protect on, which is new because it was originally
Mhm.
nasty, or it was nasty plot at a point, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah, I think you're spot on with the Farig. Like uh, the priority blocking is so important for in this format, especially. I mean, every team's got like two fake outs. You've got Thunderclap is a crazy move. So much priority you need to block that if you can't just have one way. You got to be able to stop priority whenever. So that was and those were like the two, like with all this discussion of hard trick room again, kind of goes back to those like classic reasons why it's not a serious team, if you will, like as some people might say, which is that it's really easily disrupted with like stalling out the trick room, and that often is like the two ways. There's like the fake out and the priority stuff, and then there's the like protecting and swapping and things like that. So and like not giving free switches and things like that. So you have the Farigiraf to give more help versus that first part about the fake outs and stalling like that. And then you've got the Healing Wish on Ndidi and the Urshifu as a main attacker, a main trick room attacker, to get through that second part of like getting in positions to do damage and not being worried about protects and double protects and all that kind of thing.
Whenever I'm talking to people about how to handle hard trick room, a typical hard trick room build, I'm always talking about like you can force them into an uncomfortable spot by not killing Ndidi on the first turn. You know, that's like something
Mm-hmm.
that trick room teams can usually have exploited against them. Is then you get into this dance where you're like, please kill Ndidi, please kill Ndidi. I want to bring in Torkoal, I want to bring in Urshifu.
Yeah.
However, then your opponent protects both of their Pokemon as you click follow me, and you're like, my momentum is going out the drain, the time is ticking, the clock is
Yeah.
running down. And then you decide, the next game, you're going to switch to Torkoal, and it gets blasted by like a Surging Strikes on the way in, and you're like, please stop. And so Healing Wish is that like happy medium where it's just like, if you, Indeedee is going down this turn, and it is my choice. I love that.
Yeah. 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 No, Healing Wish. I mean, it really changed the game. It completely changed the hard trick room game by avoiding exactly what you're talking about. Like we click that move almost like all the time. You're clicking you might click it on turn one. I think in Orlando in 2024, my stream match against Luca, I think that's what I did. I clicked Healing Wish turn one. And you just, Indeedee comes out in the field, sets psychic terrain, you did your job, get out of here, you know, go back to your Pokeball and let's get the real Pokemon in. And yeah, so that's the reason why I say that's the like kind of most my proudest like moment in VGC was that.
So I guess two more things on the team before we talk a little bit about your run is about the imprison on the Indeedee because Indeedee has zero attacks, so it can never do damage. Obviously, Mental Herb's helping with that a little bit, and it doesn't have Helping Hand either, like a lot of Indeedees do. So you had to really make some serious consolations to get all of the moves on this Indeedee. And so what ended up happening with Imprison?
Yeah, I think it's another example of how we were kind of really going through all like trying to solve all these problems, all these classic hard trick room problems. And so that's another one. Another classic hard trick room problem is other Pokemon with trick room reversing your trick room. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of Farigiraf around. And then, especially as we got kind of more recent, there's been a whole lot of Porygon 2 around. And so being able to stop that, like stop those turn one or two or whatever mind games of like, I click Trick Room and you click Trick Room and now I'm in big trouble, or even later on in the game, being able to stop a potential Trick Room being reversed ended up being such an important part of the team. And I remember, and exactly what you said, you have to give up a lot for it. And I remember when we were first talking about it, it was like, there's no way we're really gonna show up with an Ndidi whose 4 moves are Follow Me, Trick Room, Healing Wish, and Imprison. That's ridiculous. But it just ended up kind of working for that reason. Yeah.
Yeah, and some of these in-prison Indeedies started popping up on like the Iron Crown teams as well, right? That was their like
Oh,
anti-trick room option. So yeah, obviously I don't have you
yeah.
posted the report or sorry, the paste or no? Is that public yet or no?
No, but it's going to be posted, I think, very, very soon. Brian wrote a very nice team report that is going to be posted.
Awesome.
But yeah, I
Definitely.
even forgot about the fact that uh, another thing. What else annoys hard trick room? Imprison trick room. That's like the number one worst possible thing to uh, see as a person using trick room. So yeah, if you can have a faster imprison, that's one way to deal with imprison.
Right.
And what sucker would fall for that?
So true. Oh man. Yeah, that I do like that. I think that's super funny. I also think that and I'm sure you know this, Ben, but it's really cute how Imprison pairs with Healing Wish. Because it just means that like they can't reverse the trick room on the turn that you click Healing Wish as well. Like when Imprison is active, you can't click a move that is imprisoned at all.
Mhm.
Like the game will just not let you. So even if Ndidi is killed on the turn that imprison's already active, then you're still chilling. You can just Healing Wish, get
Yeah.
out of there, and they can't reverse the Trick Room that turn. So Torkoal can come in and just KO that Trick Room setter that was thinking about reversing it.
Yeah.
I do love that. And yeah, on the flip side though, you do have to be careful because if Ndidi gets KO'd the turn it's clicked Imprison, then the Imprison just wears off immediately, and the move will still go through.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think then the last thing I want to ask about is fairy hands. It was not fairy. It was water, right? I don't know. I know that this thing you said it's specifically targeting like the P2 bear Amoonguss type teams, right? That's what this Pokemon's here for.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main thing it's for, like having essentially we wanted something that can switch into a situation where a Mungus is on the field, and you already have Hatterene out. Like you want Hatterene out against that team, so you want to have Hatterene out, be able to switch something else in while you maybe like protect Hatterene. And so and that can also then threaten the Ensign that might be out as well. So you can protect Hatterene, bring in hands, and now you've got the KO pressure on Ensign and the Terra Psychic Life Orb KO pressure even on Terra Amoonguss. And now you're in a good position. So that it was really that's the main thing. But then we also uh, that we wanted that slot to help out potentially into some of the Rillaboom teams, and having 2 potential fairy types on the board is something that can be nice against those raging bolts, the combined raging
Hmm.
bolts,
That's actually pretty fun.
like priority blocking and fairy types on the board to stop raging bolt from being too effective.
That's always so good. I love just shutting out those Calm Mind Raging Bolts with different situations like that. It's just so good. Um, Somebody asked, how was the matchup against Dozo Weezing?
Terrible, awful. I lost. That
Terrible.
was one of my losses.
No.
That was one of my
Oh,
losses. Yuki was Yuki's using that. Yuki, I played a few times at locals. He's in the New York locals also, and so I had already played against him using that, and it's just it's so tough. Um, and so and it's like and the especially with the wheezing with the poison and stuff, it's so frustrating because you like get so close every time, and it's just you just don't quite have enough to they're like protecting and you're dying on to the last little bit of damage with the poison.
yeah.
So that's a tough matchup for the team for sure.
But you did beat
Yeah,
one too.
Dozo. Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
You
not
did beat.
impossible. Not impossible.
Yeah, Dozo's some bullshit, that Pokemon. Like, it's just so hard for our Trick Room to do anything when one of the slots is just protected by both of the slots. Like, that's illegal. That's cheating.
Yeah,
Stupid fish.
I'd say the Dozo itself is is not even too much of the problem because Hatterene hits it really hard, and Urshifu banned Terra Dark does like
Yep.
80% or something. So Dozo itself actually a decent matchup. It's really the Weezing who is poisoning and allowing all the Pokemon to protect during Trick Room, even in front of Urshifu,
Right.
is the hardest part of that.
Yeah, honestly, the more I hear you talk about the team, it also just seems like I don't know. When I play against it, everyone's just all about Torkoal. They're all about Torkoal, 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 and clicking Expanding Force. It sounds like you really make a lot of use of the Urshifu. And of course, that's because it's a very consistent way to not have your Trick Room turns wasted, right? Because of that stupid broken Unseen Fist ability.
Yeah, no, totally. I think I said on the stream like interview in Orlando, I said Urshifu is the best Trick Room attacker ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like Urshifu is better than Torkoal as a Trick Room attacker. It's better than Hatterene as a Trick Room attacker
Mm-hmm.
because even though it's pretty fast, if you make it to min speed, it's slower than most things, and that Protect is the worst. I mean, I've said like three different things are like the worst thing for a hard trigger team, but Protect is one of those three worst things. And so being able to break through that and not having to deal with like, going through all of Trick Room and the opponent is just clicking Protect every turn or switching is it's a fun feeling to use that. It probably not as fun to play against it.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah,
Um, we'll come back to talking about some of the other teams in the top 8 here, but Rohan, I want to jump over
for
to
sure.
talking about yours. You actually, let me go grab it. You ended up posting it on Twitter, right? And it was all 252s, I think is what you said.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
I don't
why
have
not?
nearly as complicated of a breakdown as Ben does. I got a version of this team from Brandon Davis actually like a
Oh, we were just
week
talking about Brandon.
before Seattle, I want to say.
Uh-huh.
He had Sash Flutter and Gallade instead of Urshifu, uh, which was interesting, but I
That's
really
7
like
Pokemon.
Urshifu.
I think that's usually cheating in most
No, sorry.
tournaments.
Sash Flutter instead of Whimsicott and Gallade instead of Urshifu. There we go.
Okay.
Uh, which was interesting, but I really like Urshifu. I was a fan of Whimsicott. He also had the Terra Water Terra Blast crown, and he's very adamant. Like I sent him a message, hey, what about Calm Mind crown? He's like, I hate Calm Mind crown. Never use Calm Mind crown. Bad. I was like,
Yes.
all right, cool, good to know. Um, like 3 days later, he's like, yeah, I'm not running this team, by the way. He ends up running Calm Mind crown in Seattle, by the way. I don't. I'm running Terra Blast. So already great start.
Oh
I
my
go to
gosh.
Seattle. Seattle was like my best run until Puerto Rico. And then for Puerto Rico, I'm like, I really like this Calm Mind stuff. Calm Mind Terra Dragon feels very strong. And I already have a lot of like immediate pressure. So being able to play kind of that balance mode with like Instant Ogre Pawn, Double Follow Me, and DD, and like setting up Calm Mind boosts. I think my it was like the first stream match I played, the round 2 of day 2, where I got like 3 something Calm Minds up in that game 3. Just it kind of just rips through teams, and especially the special defense boost is feels very important on the team.
hmm The yeah, it's actually hilarious to me that there are at least I guess only two common elements between the teams is the choice band Terra Dark or Shifu and the imprison Ndidi that you both have. But I imagine that your Shifu was not min speed. This one was
It
probably ready to go
was
a little bit faster.
not, yeah, it was quite I wasn't sure actually if Ben's was also fast, to be honest. Like I had some assumptions going into our match that like yeah, he would probably be the faster in DD, he'd probably be min speed Urshifu, but I also felt like I would probably have to sack a game to like make sure of that, because I didn't want like Urshifu to randomly outspeed my crown and one shot it kind of thing. So I was definitely kind of scared of some of those speed tiers.
I think it's kind of interesting as well. We saw this a bit with Zach Weed's team, and honestly, the other team that is most similar to this is actually one that Kieran used over in Australia. But like kind of like a more balanced take on Psy Spam. You know, you've got the Ogerpon and Ensign paired with Calm Mind Crown, just kind of using Iron Crown's excellent defensive capabilities on top of its, you know, of course, strong offense, especially with the booster energy and Psychic Terrain and Calm Mind. Like, it can definitely hit really hard, but it's also just genuinely one of the best steel types in the format right now when it comes to, like, you know, resisting certain types of attacks like Fairy or anything else. You know, steel resists like 11 types. I'm not going to name them all.
And it's a steel type that kills Chen Pao through Sash too. It's like I really do think Iron Crown very well positioned. And we've been seeing, like you said, I think especially with the Calm Mind, people are realizing that you don't have to be Terra Psychic. You don't have to be the super aggressive speed booster Calm Mind. You can play it a little differently. And I know, you know, I thought we had obviously later Asterion on the team that was also an Intimidate, but yeah, AV and Citadel were doing a lot of the same things. Intimidate, pivoting, Fake Out is pretty cool because you don't actually want to necessarily lead in DD on these teams. You really do want to bring the DD in after you've gotten a boost. When you're ready to sweep, pivot into the NDD is something that I really like doing with Landorus. I'm not sure how your speed tiers worked out, but no, I totally agree. I think it's a cool late format innovation that's been doing really well, and it's cool to see a different take on it also do well, because I think we definitely had tested Water Pond, and we thought about Incineroar, we thought about Urshifu, so it's cool to see you take those ideas and make it work.
Yeah, I actually think honestly, I didn't get to bring it as much in Puerto Rico just because of like the matchups I faced, but the Endeavor Whimsicott was probably the most enjoyable thing. Like, most things do not take a choice band Wicked Blow after an Endeavor, like even if I'm at full health as the Whimsicott. So definitely
Fun.
enables like very immediate pressure no matter kind of like what the board state is.
That is fun. Endeavor's just such a cool, cheeky move. And honestly, yeah, U-turn seems like a really cool fit with this team. You just kind of like get to like bait out their options. Like, you know, they're gonna probably Terra something to deal with how much damage a choice band Terra Dark Wicked Blow is going to do. And then you're just like, actually, you know, I just wanted to see what you would do. I just wanted to see you freak out, and then I'll, you know, bring Urshifu back in later and have all the information I need.
Yeah, no, the team puts people in very awkward situations, and I definitely kind of win games off of people not like panicking, I guess, and not exactly knowing how to respond, I guess, to leads I put out. So it was cool.
Adi, you mentioned U-turning with the Urshifu with next to Iron Crown and stuff like that, kind of like how the Landorus did. I wanted to just take this moment to mauld about one of my matches at Seattle, where in the third game I was playing against Sash Urshifu Water with U-turn, whatever, and it was on an Iron Crown team. And only in the third game did I learn that the crown was like timid max speed. So like they can't even U-turn expanding force, and that like I had just assumed I had lost the game because I let Iron Crown get off an attack against something that it was faster than I thought it could possibly be, because I was like, surely you want to be able to U-turn expanding force, surely you want to be able to U-turn expanding force, but they could. They ended up going for turn one. They went for protect U-turn, and I was kind of like, oh, I don't know why they would do that. And I guess the buttons should have clicked in my head. I think they just wanted to keep it safe. I was like, they just wanted to keep their crown safe. They weren't ready to attack yet, but it turns out they couldn't even. And I was so tilted. I was like, oh my god. Anyways,
That's really funny.
The Seattle spread. I had my crown was faster than my U-turn Urshifu.
No. You can't do this. You can't do this.
I honestly, I was curious if you're in, like, I could totally see like Max B Jolly and Cineroar on this team with U-turn, and then like a slower crowd as well.
Oh, true.
Just because that synergy was so strong when I was testing it. That was like the
Mhm.
reason to run later is for us.
Mm-hmm. No, it
Yeah, I
just is
mean, I'm
so flexible. Go ahead, sorry.
no, sorry, I was just gonna. I probably am gonna run something similar in Houston, so I don't know exactly what adjustments I'll make, but
But are you
probably
excited
shouldn't
to
do
play
252,
more regulation now?
252. Oh, I'm so excited, dude. These are my two best back-to-back finishes ever. Like, I like keep Reg F. What? This is great.
No, we don't need champions.
I'll stay here.
Oh my gosh. Um, let's go ahead and dive into some of the other results from the tournament if there are any interesting teams. I think actually the funniest section of the tournament is like it's like 7 no it's is it 9 10 11? I think it's 9 10 and 11. It just gets kind of goofy. But anyways, we'll let's see. Before we get there, this is just the standard-ish version. I think this might be what Eric Rios ran. I think he was running. No, he was like Sash Ghost. Was he Life Orb Ghost? I don't remember. Anyways, it's all just P2 balance slop.
Was he sub Flutter main?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I believe Eric had that.
He would. Okay.
Oh, this is a darker Shifu. Okay, this person is genuinely doing some slightly different stuff on this. But sure, it's still P2 balance slop. Yuki running.
Feels like you don't love that team.
No, actually, I don't hate it. I've got nothing against the team. It's just like it's one of the most boring frames of a team at this point. Like, if I see a Raging Bolt Instant Rillaboom team, I'm probably gonna we're not gonna talk about Esteban's team. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no sauce here. Let's see. Yuki's team, disgusting, of course, disgusting. But yeah, this is.
I feel like I do want to shout out Juan quickly though. Like that was his first ever event, and he got top 4. He beat Yuki in top 8, so that was really cool.
That is.
I got to hang out with him.
That's awesome. That is super awesome. I don't know. We just love to see like people like, ask themselves the question like, can I actually do this at the live stage, and then go out and find out the answer is yes. Like that's just like the most exciting thing. We saw that really huge with Justin Tang a couple years ago, and I'm hoping that it just continues to inspire more people to like just go to a tournament. Like you can actually just like show up and do well as long as you put in the work. And I'm sure that Juan
especially this late in the generation, right? I wasn't as surprised when Justin Tang did it because, like, it's a new generation, a lot of new players are joining the game. But yeah, it's crazy to maybe presumably. Do you know where Juan is from? I thought it was Dominican Republic. Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably not a ton of events around there. Probably pretty difficult to get to a lot of the events. Have to fly to Orlando or something, and so to go to the one event that you maybe is more accessible. And yeah, pull it off is super cool.
I'm just sorry.
Actually, is DR part of LATAM or is that part of the North American circuit?
That's a great question.
No idea.
I would have thought it was. I think it has to be LATAM. It has to, right? Because Mexico is LATAM. I think it's LATAM.
Limitless Demon. Okay, that makes sense. That's how you get started. Let's see. Sean's team, kind of different, genuinely, but yeah, like honestly, not a lot of builds look exactly like this, but it's just like the most priority spam of priority spam. That's just every Pokemon has a priority move, or it's a booster speed flutter that's operating at the speed ceiling. Like it's just all priority.
Wait, Alex, isn't this just your Portland team?
No,
They just replaced the Dragonite with
well,
what is it? Water main?
No, it's
We had a
two
water
off.
pond.
It's two off and several sets off. I didn't have Ursha or Rilla. I had Water Pond. They were combined into one. And then
that's true. Yes.
I can't even remember.
We were big into role consolidation.
Of course. They're just the same Pokemon.
Water Pond gets through Protect.
I wish. Oh, no, I don't wish. Because then my opponent could do it to me. Okay, so yeah, Chandler's team. This is just a slight variation of the normal size spam stuff. It's then here we go.
Yep.
We get to Terrakion Central, or Trachion's cousin. Because yeah, we have. I just thought it was so funny that it was just like literally 9, 10, and 11, which notably, ninth was in top cut, right?
Yeah.
Ninth,
Yes.
the bottom two seeds had to play for a play-in match to get into top 8. But oh my god, that's a Basque Legion. That's a beat up. That's Terracotta in 2026. That's kind of beast. Upper hand on the Terrakion. That's so fun. And Terra Ghost on it too. Yeah, and then I guess just a Moltres as well. Sad that you can't use any of Moltres' moves to activate Justified. I'd like put Sucker Punch on it. Put
Yeah.
Sucker Punch on your Choice Specs Moltres so you can activate
On your specs
Justified.
Moltres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be honest, you're clicking Fiery Wrath or nothing else. Like, what are the rest of these moves even doing?
No, I
but
think
notably, they do have Terrablast Steel. Go ahead, Adi.
they do have Terra Blast. No, I think Moltres is probably a matchup mon. I think the Terracotta is kind of maybe potentially good into balance, right? With the covered cloak. It's not like they have a ton of great ways to deal with it. And once you get to +6, like what are they really gonna do? If they are not on
Well, you're gonna be at
Scarf
+3.
Urshifu.
You're gonna be at +3
+3.
because the instant intimidated you on
Right.
turn 1, and you're getting +4 on that.
That's true. That's true. I think there's some variants of balance that could struggle into this. And yeah, I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on. The Basque Legion is not a Pokemon I believe in. He had it at UIC when I played him there. And I was not impressed by Basque Legion on that team. This is a very different team than what he ran, but he kept that one mon over, which is kind of funny.
That's so funny.
But otherwise, I mean, you can't go. I think it's a cool idea, and I do think that people didn't explore Moltres nearly enough. They kind of put it on that T-Wave Flutter team and said, this is the one place to put it. But I do feel like it sees a decent amount of success when you see it pop up, and I think that it's a real pain in the butt for some teams to deal with Snarl and with Choice Specs Fiery Wrath. It can be pretty good.
Man,
I mean,
I
I
feel like
hate
Basque
seeing it.
Legion. I feel like Basque Legion would be a cool Pokemon if, like, Urshifu didn't just exist and was just like the better Sash Water type. Like, you're setting Tailwind, you'd probably just have a lot more fun and success if you were just, able to hit them through Protect during your Tailwind turns. A crazy concept, I know. Sorry, Rod, I cut you off. What were you saying about Moltres?
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, yeah, the Moltres actually kind of rips my team apart with Fire Wrath and Air Slash. I have a lot of flying weaknesses, so I was pretty glad that he ended up losing that 8-9 match.
Oh, right, because yeah, this was 9th, right? The one on the outside. So then Aiden here also using Terracotta, but honestly, I don't think they worked together at all. The teams are very different, so just Terracotta at 9 and 10. Yeah, and this team is a balanced take on Terracotta, I guess. That's just what everybody was thinking. You needed to have backup, or whatever.
If you beat up a substitute, do you get Justified? That's a really important question.
I don't think so. I feel like
you do. I thought
no way,
for sure
right?
not.
No
right?
I would guess no way.
I'm saying I think no.
It's a right. Okay. I don't think so either. It's just like it's such an annoying anti-synergy to have on a team like this where you have substitute and you have two dark moves, not just one, like you said. And so I could definitely see myself wanting to call a Protect in front of instant Terrakion and click substitute knockoff or something like that.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, you're probably clicking like, well, no, you're not clicking beat up sub. I don't know. Sub is weird. Sub is very weird because like this is not a strategy, especially with Encore on Whimsicott, where like your opponent is giving you space. Like they are trying to rush this down. This is not a strategy that you can be like playing passively around, and that's what substitute feels like it's usually there to do.
Right, or to punish like Protects where you have Encore on your Whimsicott, you already punish Protects.
Yeah.
Like you have you have a set up Pokemon and you have a way to switch it fake out and you have Trick Room. Like you have so many ways to punish Protect.
I don't know, maybe it was just dope for keeping this guy around.
I don't know.
see.
I guess
Terrakion.
the other one had upper hand, so I guess just doesn't have a great third move.
Let's
But
go.
no, Terrakion
Terrakion.
had a big week.
Let's go Terrakion. This is so funny. All life orb. Okay. Let's see. So then, lastly, of course,
What about the other?
we gotta the other Terrakion. No, that's the different Terrakion. Iron Boulder. And so you know how we were complaining about not being able to hit through Protect. Well, this one can hit through Protect because of Mighty Cleave, which is just hilarious. I'm sorry, Yuchin, I've got nothing good to say about this team, and when you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. This team just looks bad. I don't know. I'm sorry. What the hell am I looking at?
I mean, listen, sometimes you say, I love my fake out immune, protect immune fighting moves so much that you just need 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like having 2 or 3
rock
moves.
move, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
It's just the rock move that's immune. Yeah.
I think I've wanted to. I've like had Iron Boulder with Mighty Cleave in my builder in like multiple different types of teams,
No
like
way.
all the time. And I'm always like, this can be the time that it works,
It's
like,
so
and it
bad.
lasts for 5 minutes, like, and then I'm back to reality. So the fact that he was doing well with it here, I love that. I think leaning into the rock portion of it, you got the clear ambit, you got the swords dance, and the Terra Rock.
Yeah.
You get if you get an opportunity to get that up, and then you can just blow through a lot of the common Pokemon, especially on the balance team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
That's true. And,
it's cool to see.
I definitely have put enough teams in my builder that have 2 grass types and an Urshifu and sat there and said, I have so many flying weeks. What are the things that resist flying, right? You look at the rock types. You look at the steel types, there's no good steel types, just Iron Crown. You look at the rock types and you see Iron Boulder, right? It's right there. It's kind of tempting. As one of the very few viable flying resists in the format, I do kind of see why, especially on a team like this, you might want something like that.
Adi, how many Iron Boulder teams do you have in the builder? Go search right now.
Right now, it can't be many. I don't think I've ever seriously tested this Pokemon out.
I have 2. I have 2 with Iron Boulder.
I've got 3. 2 in Regulation F. One of them has a Comfey on it. I don't know why.
Both are mine.
And then the other one.
Honestly, one of mine's not original, and one is I stole from Elizabeth off ladder. So,
I have one on a Zamazenta team for some reason. I think this is when I was testing Zama for Worlds in Reg G. Iron Boulder, definitely the call. It was the Miraidon Ice Rider matchup.
Oh, yeah, okay. It man, there was somebody who did well with it in double restricted, I think. Or well-ish. Anyways, yeah, the issue with this guy is just that it has like 8 weaknesses, and all of them are priority moves. So, like, I mean, I guess I understand why Fari is here. Because otherwise, Grassy Glide, Aqua Jet, Sucker Punch, ow. Okay. Any other teams from this one that have to be mentioned? I feel like there was one Psycho one that everybody was talking about.
Take a look at
of
VJ's
course.
team. Classic.
No, stop. They better not have Sylveon Meowscarada in day 1 on Champions, dude, or I know VJ's team.
That poor Meowscarada has died so much through Scarlet and Violet.
No. And think about the kills it's gotten, though. It's probably gotten so many KOs, so many flower tricks. Hopefully.
Yeah, but it's probably died more.
Body press. Dude, this is actually defensive hands. If you were to set up Electric Train, it would get a defense boost. I don't know. I'm just saying shit, but imagine.
I think the defense boost doesn't apply to body press.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
You're right. It does not. I'm just saying that's how the stats would go, but you're right about the mechanics.
Yeah. That's funny.
And also double fighting. Yeah, like Zapdos Mon 5, we need another fighting type on here ASAP. Can we get hands in here? Can we fit a hands in here, please?
And
I was saying to some. No, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was going to change the topic, so all you.
I was saying I was talking to someone at the tournament. I was like, man, I think like the fact that they use this team in like so many different formats, all these ridiculous mons. Like you've got a combo of mons that no one's ever seen before, and they're doing it consistently and doing like decently at tournaments, like getting into day twos at like the big regionals and stuff like that. I think is honestly one of the more impressive things in VGC. Like I don't like
And
it's just baffling.
isn't Ben the same way with his favorites? Torkel and Ndidi?
No,
I don't know
Torkel
if
and
Torkel and Didi's on
Torkel.
the same level as Umbreon Sylveon.
Yeah. Everyone, you even mentioned at the beginning of something. Every new player ever. That's the first 2 months they slap in their builder. So that's totally
Masquerada and
different.
Sylveon? No, I'm kidding. Let's see. Oh man.
That's
All right,
true.
you got to go to
Howdy.
32nd place before we keep going.
Yeah, 30-second is great.
Oh, this is the one. I was going to say there was one team that people were talking about. Is there something to activate it? It's side Shadow Sneak. Is that what we're? Oh, and side Aqua Jet.
And
Yeah, I guess you could also side
Side
E-Speed.
Aquajet, there we go.
This was my round
Just-
1, day 1. That's
Oh
just
my
how I
God.
started my tournament.
Oh my god.
And you doing as well as you did made it so this guy got points off resistance in 30-second play.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
this
he
is
earned
really-
it too. He
thank-
went
thank you.
4-3 with their team. Like he did well. I did not. Honestly, I did not know my fucking Terra Normal Life Orb Explosion calc. That one shot my Indeed and did like 70% to
Oh,
crown.
jeez.
That was crazy. So I lost a game
didn't
from
even
that.
see
I was
that.
like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's physical. That's sick. Oh, it's even got the Supercell Slam. Don't hit a Protect, Regieleki. Watch out. Honestly, this Regieleki wasn't long for the world anyways. Who cares if you do half if you hit a Protect? Oh, man. Yeah, this one is so silly. You do got the Firewater Grass, I guess. Or no. Yeah. It's Firewater Grass with the fighting ghost psychic triangle as well. That's actually pretty dope. Okay. And yeah, I think that's it for the
right.
teams from
How about this?
this one. Yeah.
I got a quick piece of trivia for you. What is
Yeah.
the most used Pokemon in this tournament that did not make day 2? There's 2 Pokemon tied for first here.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna boop.
Wait,
Take
the
the
most used
results off
Pokemon
screen.
in the tournament, or the most used like in usage stats elsewhere?
In this tournament,
Oh.
it had 7% usage.
Somebody big is missing basically. I'm gonna go for. We might have already seen it, Adi, so it could just be an error I'm committing here. But I'm gonna guess Lando T.
Lando T, only 2 people brought it to the entire tournament.
Oh my. Okay. Well, so a
Is
bit
it
more
is
used
it
than that.
something? Is it something wild that just happened and a bunch of people happen to use?
No, it's a meta Pokemon, not necessarily tier 1 meta Pokemon, but it's definitely a meta Pokemon.
King Lu or Gouging Fire.
It is Gouging Fire. Tinglu is actually, there were 5 people who used it. There's 1 Gouging Fire in top 32, 1 Gouging Fire Tinglu team, but there were none that made it to day 2.
Dang.
And then if you want to guess
Oh.
the other Pokemon that was tied that did not have a single appearance in top 32, but there were 7 people who brought it. This one may be a little harder.
Adi, my brain was a little bit broken by this question because I kind of forgot that not everybody that we're looking at made day 2. I forgot that
Yeah.
the couple of 4-3s here
Oh.
at the bottom got top 32 points without making it to day 2. What was your question again?
Right. Well, I'm saying that you have a second chance. You have a chance to redeem yourself because there was a second Pokemon that also had 7 people using it, and the best finish was 35th place. There's only 1 person with a winning record with this Pokemon.
I can't scroll down that far. Adi. What is it? What is it?
I know.
No,
You
let
can't
me
cheat for
think.
this one.
Well, no, I was taking it off screen, so I didn't look at all the Pokemon that are there, so I don't know which ones to think of that aren't. But 7 people. What was the total again?
It was 7 people who used it out of 99.
Oh, so it's basically like just perfect, almost 100. Okay.
Pretty much 7.1% usage. I'll give you one more clue. Unless you want to take a guess first.
I'll give you one guess first. Let me just throw something up.
Is it Pelipper? Was Pelipper in day 2?
It was not Pelipper. Pelipper did not make day
Pelipper's-
2. Only 4 people brought rain.
Dang.
Pelipper is the
guess.
perfect type of guess, though. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got one after that. Something used more than Pelipper? Incineroar, I don't know.
No.
You saw my
okay.
Incineroar. What do you mean?
I'm kidding.
Its
I'm
most
kidding.
its most common partner was Torkoal. Actually, that's not true. Its most common partner was Fluttermane. Its next most common partner was Torkoal.
Walking Wake?
No.
I don't know. Dude.
Okay. It is Ogerpon Cornerstone. 7 people brought Ogerpon Cornerstone teams. And none of them made day 2.
Okay.
Including one person who went 0-4 with the seemingly a version of the minimized Tendozo team with a Rock Pond on it.
I'm sorry, but they earned that one. They earned that one. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to blame anybody for bad results, but also you brought the minimized team. That's what you get. All right. So we're not actually going to miss previewing this one really quick. And honestly, I mean, the preview is going to be brief because I don't think we know a whole lot about the tournament or the region. We're definitely not the most knowledgeable, but Curutiba is taking place this upcoming weekend. Of course, still Regulation F. I don't actually know how many people are in this one. Usually I'm relying on Max in the chat to tell me, but I actually don't know if I've seen Max around today, so Max might not have had time to hop in on this episode. But if anybody's going to this one and knows exactly how many people are going, do let me know. Also, Max always tells me all of the people that are going to the tournament, and so I actually have no good ideas of people that are going to this one. Does anybody have any like confirmed players they know that are going? Yeah,
I have no idea.
I mean, then yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit hard for us to do smart money. So I might just skip past that because it would just be a bunch of
come on
guesswork.
Surely you've got a favorite Brazilian player. Just assume all the Brazilians are going.
Okay, all right. Well then, Rohan, name a Brazilian player that you think is going to the tournament, or anybody that you think is going to this tournament for your smart money.
Quick, favorite Brazilian.
I don't know. That's a tough one, man. I got nothing.
Dude, Adi, have you seen that one video that's like name a woman and the woman's just like so flustered? Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That video's an all-timer. I love that one. Name a Brazilian player. Name one now.
I'll say
I got it.
Molina. He got top 8, right, in Puerto Rico.
Say again.
Esteban Molina.
Oh, Esteban. Okay.
There you go.
I think he's Latam.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Was he Panama? If I remember correctly, he might be gone.
All right, Chef. Do you want a Gotti?
Was he?
That's cheating.
I mean, it is, but also it's like I would say he's probably going.
I guess he's gonna be there, right? Yeah, he's probably gonna be there.
Yeah.
Give me Sebastian Escalante.
Oh, okay.
Okay. By the way, correction: Esteban is Costa Rican, and that's not nearly as close to Brazil. So that would be.
Yeah, so that David Ness also Costa Rican, right? That's kind of far.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty far.
I might have misspelled Sebastian's last name there. Adi?
I will go with the one that I see Aquamarine posting in chat. Picking Vovamax. We'll see. Let's see what he's cooked up.
Okay. See, I'm. Oh, Wanfi. Somebody's saying Wanfi. I picked Wanfi for a lot of these. So actually, even though everyone's saying Agati's the boring pick, it's actually a spicy pick for me because I'm always picking Wanfi because everybody lets me pick Wanfi. Honestly, Wanfi's on such a tear though that this might even be like a. I mean, it's never a poor choice to pick Agati, but I don't know. Juan's just so strong this season. So if Juan is going, definitely a strong favorite for the tournament. Oh, Aquamarine doesn't know they're going, but honestly, it's a decent chance.
I don't
that
know if he's
Novamax
going
is
either. He's Brazilian. He's probably going.
Also, I forgot
right?
the
I don't
rest
know.
of the
I don't
name.
know.
I should put the whole name, dude. I should put the whole name. Bobo Max Ben 10. Dude, I said it literally. This is a repeated bit, but like it is gotta be like top 5 worst usernames in the scene, dude. Like I don't know, dude. You can change it. You can just start going by like just I don't know, dude. That Bobo Max Ben 10. I actually watched Ben 10 a little bit when I was growing up, but that's like probably like 16 more years ago at this point. Like that's so long.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
It gets to a point where it becomes good again. Like, it wraps around and it becomes good again.
You know what's funny, Ben? We were actually talking about Ben 10 last episode. The reason being is the new ring in the game is called the Omni Ring, and I think Ben's device is called the Omnitrix. So this is actually 2 episodes in a row that we're talking about Ben 10. So you know what? You're right. It is looping back around. Bobo Max Ben 10 is actually ahead of the times. You know what? I have to say, Rohan, your username also might be. Somebody said in the chat, Alpha Mystican might be
Yeah.
bottom 5. What is your username actually? I mean, if you don't want to give the story, you don't have to.
No, I mean you're good. It's literally it was a character from an anime that I watched in elementary school, and I stuck with that because I was like, that's good enough. I don't
Oh,
care
so
enough
like
to
Tiago
make a
here.
new
So
one.
like Bobo Max Ben 10, because that's like from an
Yeah.
anime that he probably watched when he was in elementary school. Because I mean, Ben 10's just it's just a American anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if he was
it's fine.
if he was anything like me, he'd go by VMB10.
That's true. I was gonna say we are with
Yeah,
here amongst CK49. Like Adi's not doing like he's not high up on the username list here. Oh man.
I thought you just picked whatever you picked when you were like a teenager as your first showdown username. Just that's what you had to stick with.
You just gotta go with it.
I didn't know you could change.
Cybertron is top 5. I gotta say I don't think Cybertron is top 5. Like that's just another character from something else. Like I don't know. Like that's wait, isn't it or is it not? No, it's not. No, I'm thinking of Megatron actually. I was thinking of like I was like that's a trick. Lexicon, I bet that's a guy who takes word games too seriously. That's real. That's real. Lexicon's not very good, honestly. I'm not trying to say mine's amazing.
I still think King of Mars is maybe the best one, and you'll have to ask Gavin for the backstory for that one, but it's a pretty good backstory too.
I'm trying to think of like what are like actual top tier usernames that are not just names. That's the other part. Is like like Wolf's immediately out of the conversation because I'm not gonna pick Wolf when his real name is Wolf. Like that's just like stupid. Link Yoshi Mario. Link Yoshi Mario was in attendance, right? Wasn't Ashton there?
Yes, no,
he was. Yeah.
I don't remember how
That was
Ashton's
Oh,
old
yeah, there we
idea.
go. Top 16. Honestly, very boring by Ashton standards. Very funny.
What, you don't like the Cotton Spore Among Us?
Well, was that a team sheet error or was that real?
a crazy.
Yeah, it was a team sheet error.
Well, that was a crazy moment when the judges changed his team sheet, but only in English and Spanish. And then he was playing someone who was reading the Chinese.
He was playing
Oh my
YouTube.
god.
And
no.
using the team sheet. And so that was a whole thing. I don't know how they ended up
so they did it like
that,
with pen. They crossed it out.
Yeah.
Oh no. You're kind of supposed to do a reprint. You're kind of supposed to do a reprint, and this is exactly why. Oh gosh.
I was playing right next to it as it was happening, and I definitely was distracted a little bit because I'm like, oh my god, like what are they gonna do about that? That's crazy. And I was like peeking over as I probably should have been focused on like what move I was gonna use.
Yeah, no, I was doing the same thing. I was on the other side of them facing Yuki.
All right. Should we do Calc is right or should we wrap up the show? What do you think?
What is Calc is right?
I don't know what
all right. I guess you know what? Let's do some Calc is right. We'll go through it quick. So Ben, basically what we do is we all present a damage calc, like kind of like a tricky, fun one, whatever, something from your run or just any kind of inspiration, that the other players have to guess. So if I said, how much does 220 modest Obama
okay.
Snow do to another Obama Snow with Blizzard, like a max HP Obama Snow, and if you guessed 40%, you would get the point. So we kind of just like, put our knowledge to the test to see how well we know our stuff calcs wise. And so I'll go ahead and start off with the Regieleki one because that just seems funny. I want to know how much does I guess I'll just make you do some simple having. So we're going to look at a Dondozo. It's just 4 HP Dondozo, but it has formed up. And it's fighting against the Life Orb Regieleki with Supercell Slam. And they didn't hit into Protect. They did hit into Protect and took 50% on the first one. But now this next one is going to hit Dondozo and do the remaining HP and recoil because Regieleki's HP stat is so much lower than Dondozo's. So how much does a Regieleki max? We'll make it adamant. I think it can afford to. So max adamant Regieleki, Life Orb, Supercell Slam into 4 HP Dondozo, but it has +2 defense.
Am I supposed to know what base power Supercell Slam is?
You don't get to look it up. That's the fun
yeah.
part. Is whenever now you wouldn't be put into this situation necessarily, but the idea is that if you were in this situation and you had to make the call on what the number is going to be, you don't get to look this stuff up in tournament. But of course, you're also not running Supercell Slam Regieleki in tournament. So, also I forgot to mention.
Let Alex know when you're ready.
Yeah, when you're ready, just verbally say out loud like I'm ready, and I will call on people.
I'm ready.
It's high jump kick, but electric. It is not.
I am ready. Wait, did it actually also have recoil? I didn't realize that had recoil. I know. Wait, if you miss, it has recoil.
Dude, can Supercell Slam miss? Does it have an accuracy check?
Yeah, it does.
It does. It's like 90.
It's so bad. It's lower base power though. I'll give you guys that much. Anyways, I hope everybody's ready. I'll start with Rohan. You ready?
Yeah, I'll say like 42%.
42. No faith. All right, Ben.
Give me 55.
55? What are we talking about? Adi, do you think this thing's doing any damage or no?
My brain. So my brain is telling me 60, but I know my brain is thinking like Aleki that had full power transistor, so it's gonna do 30% less than that. So I'm gonna say it's gonna do an even. I was gonna like 48%. Let's say.
Holy. You guys don't think it OHKO? Or you're saying it doesn't OHKO if it's not formed up, dude? You're crazy.
Wait, it's not formed up?
No, I did.
No, but I'm just talking about the math.
Oh.
Because, like, you're basically...
Dude, that Supercell Slam did not kill my Iron Crown. It did, like... I don't think it's
you
a
said,
real
like,
move.
no bulk, right? You said, like, no bulk.
No, it's...
I guess 4
no,
HP.
It's 4
HP.
HP. It's just 4 HP. I actually didn't say any defense, so I'll take away the defense.
Okay.
And that's not Supercell Slam. That's Wild Charge.
No, but it is stronger. It is stronger.
It's only 100 base power, though. All right. Let's go.
That was close.
It would OHKO one.
Into a real Dondozo spread. I said 50.
Do I get a point? I said 50.
Well, yeah, you get the point. Yeah, the points mean nothing, by the way. It's just for fun. But you know your stuff.
Oh.
Whenever we have MDB on, he always like whiffs them all because he thinks he knows his stuff and then he's off. It's so fun.
It's
all right.
It's lovely because he's so confident.
So now that you guys get it, do you guys have a calc ready? When you do, just let me know. Anywhere you want to go.
Tell you what, I can do one,
but it's inspired by the same team, so I don't know if that's
fine. Honestly, whatever.
Okay, you do yours. Mine was also inspired by the same team.
Yeah.
All right.
Bro,
how much do you think Choice Band Terra Dark Wicked Blow does into the Terra Grass Oranguru? Max. Oranguru.
What is it?
So Max Bold Oranguru. How much does Terra Dark
Max.
Wicked Blow do into Terra Grass?
What are we adamant?
Choice Band.
Yeah, Max Bold, like max HP, max defense. Bold.
No, what's the Ursh?
No,
adamant
but for
max?
the Ursh, it was adamant or Jolly.
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 Oh, Jolly Max.
I'm so used to adamant.
We're messing you up. All right.
All right, I'm ready. Give me 85.
Okay.
I think you wouldn't be bringing this up if it knocked out. So I think it's probably gonna just barely miss the knockout. So I'm saying 90.
I'll go for the lame 100 answer because I feel like it has a chance. All right, let's start plugging this in. So Urshifu Jolly Band is right there. Nice. Oranguru.
This is the calc that makes you go adamant.
True.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of not OHKOing all the Orangurus that I fight with my Terra Dark Wicked Blow.
It was Terra Grass.
Yeah, I still gotta put that on. But it does look like it's going to live. Wait. Yeah, Jolly Band. What the heck? Dude,
I did not.
Why is this guy living the hits so well?
Let's go. That's why you got adamant.
I don't think adamant's a guarantee either. I'm pretty sure it's still a roll
probably
not
not
in your favor.
It'd probably be
a
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
252 bold is that's a lot. So.
Did you encounter this then?
You put anything.
That was what that guy was running in round 1.
And it's so it just
that's nice.
lived. No.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. All right, Adi Ben, who's got one?
Okay, I'm gonna round it out with a third Shane Oldham calc. This time it's with the weakness policy Saralege.
Of course.
So let's say you proc your weakness policy Saralege, and you get a fat poltergeist off into, I don't know, how about a Raging Bolt? Let's say it's a max HP Raging Bolt. Max HP 4 defense Raging Bolt. How much are you doing with your +2 poltergeist from max attack Adamant Saralege?
I'm gonna go with 0 because it used its booster energy.
No, sorry. It is a leftovers Raging Bolt.
Yeah. That's actually so true. That's like a really good point. You should have hit us with a trick question, Audi.
It's a leftovers Calm Mind Raging Bolt. Sorry.
Okay. So yeah, Ben. So just when you're ready, just say you're ready, and then we'll get called on.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Ready, I guess.
I'll be ready.
All right, Alex, you're up first.
88? I don't know. I mean, like, it's crazy to say that a move this strong is doing less than half to a Raging Bolt, but maybe, like, without boosts. But that's, anyways, I don't know. Raging Bolt's bulky.
All right. Ben, what do you think?
I'll go 80.
80? And Rohan?
Say 90.
90. Okay, no one believes in the Saralege. Admittedly, Poltergeist, not the highest base power move. Anyone know its base power off the top of their heads?
110, I thought.
90.
I thought it was 90.
Is it only? It's 110. Okay. Here we
go. It's 110. Never mind.
Wow.
I'm tripping.
Is
Bitterblade 90? Is that what it is? Yeah.
Dude, wait, this is, are we serious?
That's a Dozo boosted.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was like, what am I? Let's Dozo boost the Saralege.
Oh shit!
You got to put the 4 defense on the Raging Bolt, but yeah, no one believes in this guy.
Wow,
my bad.
Dang.
Okay.
Dang. He's cooking.
Yeah, I should have counted that. I should have believed in 110 base power a little bit more. 110 base power is real, so.
I didn't realize it was that high.
All right. Down to you, Ben. What do you got? You got a calc?
All right. I've got a calc from my team.
All right.
We've got 31 IV, 4 attack, struggle in DD.
Yes.
Against Fluttermane.
Does it have 4 attack?
Yes. We put the extra 4. We put the extra 4 EVs into attack.
If you want to take more damage from the foul play.
Who's using foul play? There's no, except for the Umbreon on VJ Sue's team.
Who's struggling into the Fluttermane?
We are. We're struggling with the Fluttermane right now. What's the Fluttermane spread though? What's the Fluttermane spread? What do you got?
I don't know. Let's do like a offensive one. Like not a lot of defense.
So you just went like glass, or what do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
let's make a glass.
Okay. So glass flutter taking.
Let's give the Indeedee a chance.
True.
Okay.
You got to be precise because it'll be a small range, right? So
it'll be a really
it is
small
hard.
range.
It is hard.
Okay. I have a number.
I'm ready as well. Oh yeah, you're
Ben,
minus.
call on someone.
Are you minus attack nature?
Oh, okay. So let's start with no, not minus attack nature. No, definitely not. Of course, minus special attack nature. I don't even know what nature that is.
Oh yeah, because you don't have a special attack.
Because we're not minus speed. You're want to be fast with the imprison.
Yes.
We're not minus attack because we decided that it was better to do struggle came up enough that it was better to do more damage with struggle than the chance of confusion or foul play.
I like it.
Yeah, so minus special attack then, no attacks. So
yes,
I don't even know what nature that is. So all right, everyone said they're ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's go Rohan first then.
I'll say 9%.
9%. All right, and then Alex.
13, dude. It's getting there. It's getting there.
Okay. I do not believe in a DD that much. I'm gonna say it's doing 8%.
All right. Let's see.
And you might say that's really close to Rohan's answer, but these ranges are going to be small.
They probably don't overlap. I don't think they probably don't overlap.
Yeah.
Can you actually calc for struggle in this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a move.
Sash Flutter. I like that Sash Flutter has the 4 in SPDF. That's like the worst place to put it, but that's what we're calculating against. So, all right. Struggle. Oh my god!
Oh, for real?
That's insane.
Wait, that's crazy. That's real damage.
Well,
it's doing 13 to the bulky ones.
Damage.
It's Flutter main, but there you go.
Yeah, dude. You have to plug in like 252 bold Flutter to take 13, dude.
That's enough chip to make it so my expanding force kills. That's all you need.
That's what it seems like.
There we go.
Is that the calc? Expanding force, life form expanding force plus struggle.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's actually kind of huge, kind of crazy. All right, so that's gonna be it for this week on Tub Takes. Thank you again for joining us, both Ben and Rohan. It was fun to get to talk to y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
And of course, congrats on your finishes as well. And of course, congrats on the Worlds invite as well to you, Ben. I mean, I'm sure that's awesome. We actually didn't really talk about that part earlier in the episode, but
oh yeah, I was wondering, how were you doing this season? Like, were you in Worlds contention?
Yeah, I would say I was in contention, but I haven't been doing that great this season. So I was getting like after Seattle, I was like, dang, like this might be the year I miss getting a Worlds invite, huh? And so to go from that to immediately having it, it's a relaxing feeling.
Yes, absolutely.
I bet.
Out
of the rat race.
And it's also good for guys like us, right, Audie? Because it's just one less person to worry about.
Yep.
Anyways, so if you watch this, if you're here now, but you didn't catch the beginning, or you prefer to watch these on YouTube, it'll be uploaded on YouTube tomorrow. !YT in the chat. CK49 Audie is Audie's YouTube channel. And I think other than that, we'll be back next week with, honestly, I'm not really sure what news is coming, but we'll send the raid over to Nightmare Panda. What's Nightmare Panda up to, Audie?
They're playing VGC. They're playing some, it looks like ladder, so Reg J.
Oh, fun. Nice. All right. I think then that'll be it from us this week. So y'all have a good evening. Catch you around, peeps. Peace out.